The wedding was silent, not the kind of silence that feels peaceful, the kind that feels like something terrible is about to happen. No laughter, no joy, no love, just power, just fear. People didn't come to celebrate, they came to witness, to watch the moment one empire tightened its grip over another, and at the center of it all was him. He stood beside me like a statue carved from ice, untouchable, unreadable, dangerous. His name echoed in whispers across the room, not spoken loudly, because men like him weren't talked about. They were feared. I could feel their eyes on me, judging, wondering, questioning one thing. Why would a girl like me marry a man like him, if only they knew? The priest's voice cut through the tension, cold, formal, detached, as if even he didn't want to be here. Do you take this man? I didn't hear the rest, because my mind was somewhere else, 3 years ago. Rain poured like the sky was trying to wash away what had happened, but it couldn't. Nothing could. My brother lay bleeding on the pavement, his hand weakly gripping mine, his breath fading. "Run," he whispered. I didn't. I couldn't, because I saw him, standing a few feet away, watching, not guilty, not angry, not even satisfied, just calm, like taking a life meant nothing to him. That was the moment I stopped being human. That was the moment I became something else, something colder, something darker, something that could wait. Do you take this man to be your husband? The priest's voice dragged me back to the present. I looked at him, really looked at him, same eyes, same presence, same terrifying stillness. The man who destroyed my life was now standing in front of me, waiting for my answer. I do. The words came out steady, controlled, perfect. But inside I was already planning his death. He didn't smile, didn't react, didn't even blink. He just studied me, like something about me didn't make sense. Good. Let him wonder. Let him doubt. Because the more he questioned me, the less he would see the truth. That I wasn't his wife. I was his end. The ring was cold as it slid onto my finger, heavy, like a chain, a symbol of ownership, but not his over me, mine over him. Because from this moment on, I would be closer to him than anyone else, close enough to destroy him. The ceremony ended quickly. No applause, no celebration, just quiet acknowledgement. The deal was done, the alliance sealed, and the trap set. That night I entered his world. The mansion was exactly what I expected. Dark, massive, untouchable, guards everywhere, cameras in every corner. No way in, no way out, a fortress, but even fortresses fall. I walked through the halls slowly, taking everything in, counting doors, watching exits, learning patterns, because revenge isn't built on emotion, it's built on patience. Planning something? His voice came from behind me, low, calm, too calm. I didn't turn immediately, didn't react. That was the first rule. Never show weakness. Should I be? I replied. Silence, then footsteps, slow, measured. He stopped right behind me, close enough that I could feel his presence, dangerous, overwhelming. "You're different," he said. I turned slightly. "Is that a problem?" A pause, then, "No." But the way he said it didn't sound convincing. It sounded like a warning. His eyes locked onto mine again, searching, analyzing, like he was trying to peel me apart layer by layer. "You're not what I expected," he added. Good, because if he ever expected the truth, I'd already be dead. "And what did you expect?" I asked. "A frightened bride." I smiled slightly. "You married the wrong girl." Something flickered in his expression, quick, almost invisible, interest. That was dangerous, because the more interested he became, the closer he would get, and the closer he got, the more everything could fall apart, or the faster I could destroy him. He stepped back slightly, still watching me. "Get some rest," he said. "You'll need it." For what? He didn't answer. He just walked away. And for the first time since I saw him again, something felt off. Not fear, not doubt, something else. Recognition. It didn't make sense. It couldn't make sense. I had changed everything. My name, my past, my identity. Even my face wasn't the same girl he saw 3 years ago. So why did it feel like he was looking through me? I shut the thought down immediately. No, impossible. Men like him don't remember victims. They forget them the moment they fall. That's what made them monsters. That night, I didn't sleep, not because I was afraid, but because I was planning. I sat by the window watching the guards rotate, counting time, memorizing patterns, every 12 minutes, shift change. 2 guards at the north gate, 3 near the main entrance. Security cameras, rotating every 8 seconds. Predictable, and predictable systems are breakable systems. By morning, I had already mapped half the mansion. By night, I would own it. Or at least, I thought I would. Enjoying the view, his voice again, always appearing out of nowhere, like a shadow that refused to leave. I didn't turn this time. "You should fix your security," I said calmly. Silence, then, "Why?" Now I turned, slowly, carefully. "Because it's weak." That got his attention. I saw it instantly, the shift, the focus. Men like him don't react to emotion, they react to threat. "And how would you know that?" he asked. I stepped closer, just enough to close the distance. "Because if I wanted to," I said softly, "I could walk out of here tonight." A dangerous statement, a very dangerous statement. The air changed instantly. He didn't move, didn't blink, but the tension, it spiked. "Try," he said, not a challenge, a test. And I realized something in that moment. He wasn't angry, he was curious. That made him even more dangerous, because curious men dig deeper, and if he dug too deep, he'd find the truth, and if he found the truth, I wouldn't get my revenge, I'd get killed. So I smiled. "I don't run," I said. A lie. I stay until I get what I want. Now that was the truth. His eyes darkened slightly. "And what do you want?" For a second, just 1 second, I almost said it. "Your destruction." But I didn't. Instead, "I haven't decided yet." Another lie. But lies were the only thing keeping me alive. He studied me again. Longer this time. Deeper. "You're either very brave," he said quietly, "or very stupid." I tilted my head slightly. Maybe both. That almost made him smile. Almost. But it disappeared as quickly as it came. "Be careful," he said. A warning, not for him, for me. Curiosity gets people killed in this world. I held his gaze, unshaken. "Then I guess I'll fit right in." Silence again, heavy, loaded, and then he stepped closer, too close. Close enough that I could feel his breath, dangerous, overwhelming. "Tell me something," he said softly. My heart didn't race, it didn't panic, it slowed, because this moment, this was dangerous. "What?" I asked. "Why do I feel like I've seen you before?" Everything froze, not outside, inside me. For the first time in 3 years, I felt something crack, not fear, something worse, uncertainty. Because that wasn't supposed to happen. He wasn't supposed to question me. He wasn't supposed to remember anything. He was supposed to be blind, and yet here he was, looking at me like I was a memory he couldn't place. I forced a small smile, controlled, calm. "You haven't." A beat. "I'd remember someone like you." A dangerous answer. Because it could go both ways, and for a moment, I thought he didn't believe me. I saw it in his eyes. Suspicion, sharp, precise, like a blade slowly being pulled out. But then, he stepped back, just slightly. "Maybe," he said. But his tone, it didn't sound convinced. It sounded like a man who just found a puzzle and decided he wasn't done solving it. And that was a problem, because the closer he got to the truth, the more dangerous this game became. And I wasn't the only one playing anymore. That night, everything changed, because for the first time since I entered his world, I realized something I hadn't planned for. I wasn't just hunting him. He was starting to notice me. And when a predator notices you, you're no longer invisible. You're a target. Sleep became a luxury I couldn't afford, not in this house, not with him, because every second I wasn't watching, he was. And the worst part? He was getting closer, not physically, mentally. The next few days, I stayed quiet, observed, adapted, waited. I played the role perfectly, the calm wife, the mysterious bride, the woman who didn't ask questions. The dining room was massive, cold, elegant, too big for two people, which made the silence even louder. We sat across from each other. Distance, safe distance, for both of us. The food was untouched, because this wasn't about eating, this was about something else. You've been mapping the house. There it was, direct, sharp, no hesitation. I didn't react, didn't flinch. Have I? I said calmly. His eyes didn't leave mine. Yes. No emotion, just certainty, so he knew, not everything, but enough. And that meant one thing. I needed to be more careful, or faster. Should I be worried? I asked. A small pause, then, that depends. On what? On whether you're planning to leave, or take something with you. His words weren't random. They were precise, calculated, like he was testing boundaries, trying to see how far I'd go. I leaned back slightly, relaxed. Maybe I'm just trying to understand where I live. Half-truth, the most dangerous kind of lie, because it sounds real, but hides everything. He studied me again, longer this time. You don't behave like someone who was forced into this, because I wasn't. I chose this. I walked into hell, on purpose. Maybe I adapt quickly, I replied. Another pause, then, you don't fear me. That again, that obsession, that curiosity, it was growing, and I could feel it, like tension in the air before a storm. Should I? I asked. Silence. Then he said something that I didn't expect. Yes. Not as a threat, as a fact. That night, I made my first mistake. Not a big one, not obvious. But in his world, even the smallest mistake can get you killed. I went somewhere I shouldn't have. The West Wing. Every mansion like this has one. The part no one talks about, the part no one enters, and the part that holds secrets. The guards weren't supposed to be there at that hour, but they were, which meant one thing. Something important was inside. Something he didn't want anyone to see. Perfect. I moved quietly, carefully, every step measured, every breath controlled. The hallway was darker than the rest of the house. No cameras. That alone was strange. Because a man like him, he trusts nothing. So why would he leave this place unguarded by surveillance, but protected by men, unless what was inside wasn't meant to be recorded? My pulse slowed, not fear, focus. I reached the door, locked, of course, but locks are just delays, and I wasn't in a hurry. It took me less than a minute. Click. The door opened, and the moment I stepped inside, I knew. This wasn't just a room. This was a past. Files, documents, photos, organized, precise, like everything else about him. I moved closer, slowly flipping through the files, names, locations, dates, operations, deals, kills, and then my hand froze. A photo, old, worn, but clear, too clear. My breath stopped because I recognized it. Not the place, not the time. Him, standing there, 3 years ago. The same night my brother died, but he wasn't alone. There was someone else, another man, face partially hidden, but not enough. Not enough for me, because I had seen that face before, just once, the night everything ended. My brother didn't look at him when he died. He looked past him, at someone else, someone I didn't notice back then. But now I remembered, and suddenly, everything felt wrong, because the man I hated might not have been the one who pulled the trigger. Footsteps. Outside. Too late. I turned quickly, but the door was already opening, and there he was, watching me, silent, still, dangerous. For a second, no one moved, no one spoke, and then, "You shouldn't be here." Not loud, not angry, but far more dangerous than both, because his voice was colder than I had ever heard it. I didn't panic, couldn't, because panic is weakness, and weakness gets you killed. "I was curious," I said. A mistake, because this time, curiosity wasn't harmless. This time, it crossed a line. His eyes dropped to the file in my hand, then back to me, slowly. "You went through my things." Not a question, a fact. "Yes." Silence, heavy, sharp. And then, he stepped inside, closed the door behind him, locked it. Click. That sound echoed louder than anything else, because now, there was no one else here. No guards, no witnesses, just me, and the most dangerous man alive. "Give it to me." I didn't move, didn't look away. "Why?" I asked. A dangerous question, a very dangerous question, because this wasn't a conversation anymore. This was control, and I had just challenged it. His jaw tightened slightly. "You're testing limits you don't understand." I stepped closer instead, closed the distance, held the photo up. "I think I understand more than you think." That got his attention, real attention, the kind that sharpens everything. "What do you think you understand?" he asked. My heart didn't race, but my mind, it was moving fast, because this changed everything. "If you killed my brother," I said slowly, "then why wasn't he looking at you when he died?" Silence. Complete. Dead silence. And for the first time, I saw it. A crack, small, almost invisible, but real, in his expression. And that was all I needed to know. Because monsters like him don't react to lies. They react to truth. And I had just touched something real, something dangerous, something he didn't want exposed. His voice dropped even lower. "Where did you get that idea?" I smiled slightly. "I remember things." Another mistake. Because now, he wasn't just suspicious. Now, he was connecting pieces, and if he connected the wrong ones, this would end very badly for me. He stepped even closer. Too close. His eyes locked onto mine. Sharp. Piercing. Unforgiving. "Who are you?" he asked. Not curiosity, not anymore. This time, it was a demand, a threat, and a warning, all at once. The air felt heavier, tighter, like everything was about to collapse. And for the first time since I came here, I didn't have full control of the situation, because now, the game had changed. This wasn't just about revenge anymore. This was about truth, and truth is far more dangerous than lies. I didn't answer, not immediately, because silence is power, and I needed every bit of it right now. Instead, I tilted my head slightly, studying him the same way he studied me. "You married me," I said calmly. "Shouldn't you already know?" A deflection, but not a weak one, a calculated one. His eyes didn't soften, didn't shift, but something behind them changed. Not suspicion, recognition, that same feeling again. Like I was standing in front of a memory he couldn't fully see, and it was frustrating him. Good, because frustration leads to mistakes, and I needed him to make one. "You're hiding something," he said. Of course I was. But the real danger? He wasn't guessing anymore. He was sure. "Aren't we all?" I replied. Wrong answer. I knew it the second I said it. because his expression hardened instantly, not angry, colder than that, controlled, which meant one thing: he was done playing. In one step, he closed the distance, fast, too fast. His hand grabbed my wrist, firm, unyielding, not enough to hurt, but enough to remind me I wasn't in control here, not anymore. "You're not like the others," he said quietly. "I never said I was," I replied. His grip tightened slightly. "You asked the wrong questions, because I'm looking for the right answers. And you go places you shouldn't. Because that's where the truth is. If you're afraid of what I might find," I said softly, "then maybe you're the one hiding something." There it was. The shift, small but real, because this time I hit something. His jaw tightened, and for a fraction of a second, I saw it. Not anger, not control, something else, something buried, something he didn't want anyone to see. Good, because that meant I was getting closer. But getting closer also meant getting more dangerous, and danger cuts both ways. Slowly, he let go of my wrist, but he didn't step back, didn't create distance. No, he stayed exactly where he was, close, too close. "You think you understand what happened that night?" he asked. My heart slowed, because now we were there, the past, the truth, the reason I was here. "I know what I saw," I said. A lie. Because now I wasn't so sure anymore. His eyes locked onto mine, sharp, focused. "Then you didn't see everything." That sentence hit harder than anything else, because it confirmed it. There was more. More than I knew, more than I remembered, more than I built my entire revenge on. And suddenly, for the first time since this started, my certainty cracked just a little, but enough. "Then tell me," I said, dangerous, because now I was asking, and asking means giving up control. He watched me carefully, like he was deciding something, not about the past, about me, whether I was worth the truth or the bullet. "You're asking questions that can get you killed," he said. "Then kill me." The words came out before I could stop them, too fast, too real. Silence, heavy, because that wasn't part of the act. That was me, the real me, the one who lost everything, the one who stopped caring about survival and started caring about revenge.